starting off, what do you actually do?
I work in a position which is an Indigenous Ranger traineeship role, which is a partnership between the Department of Biodiversity, Conservation and Attractions and the Southwest Aboriginal Land and Sea Council. Oh, now I've got to breathe. And yeah, so basically what I do is I work in majority of the areas through DBCA. So I work with fauna, flora, I work in fire, and I work in parks and visitor services also. And then I'm also acting in a position in the Aboriginal Engagement and Heritage Unit, which is a project officer of Aboriginal programs at the moment.
In terms of those things that, Aboriginal people have been doing to maintain biodiversity, what is one of the things that you think that we should kind of try to encourage and reinstate to make sure that it's happening now?
Yeah, I think, a major thing is just minimising your footprint, whether or not you sort of are buying houses that are already built instead of new subdivisions and new developments is a major thing. In terms of, if you are walking in the bush, keep to the tracks, don't take dogs and other domesticated animals into the bush, I guess connect with the seasons of Noongar Buja. So on Noongar country in the southwest here, we have 6 seasons, and generally they align with breeding patterns, flowering seasons, and all the different things which you'll be able to see what different species need what during that time, and then that's a way that you can understand and respect those things and leave them be, because those specific species need that time within that season.
What season are we in right now?
At the moment we are in Jilba season. Yep, and so basically that's the season of conception after the season of fertility, which is Makaru. And next, in probably about 2 to 3 weeks from now, we might start transitioning into Camberang, which is the season of birth. So I actually used to be a hairdresser for 11 years before moving
11
into
years.
conservation. Yes.
That's a long time of cutting hair.
Yes.
Did you enjoy it?
I did, yeah. I really loved it, but I had a calling to give back to the environment, to the land, and so that's what drew me to conservation. I always did do other stuff as hobbies, but it was sort of, it was the professional movement that I needed for myself. But during that time, a lot of it was answering phones and booking appointments, and it's so easy to sound nasty on the phone.
Yeah.
Like you have to be overly positive and like friendly.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's incredibly easy because a lot of the language that we use as people is body language.
Yeah.
And you can't see those things over email and or over the phone. And obviously email's a lot harder because you don't even have the voice tones. So it's quite thing. So sometimes a little smiley face, which might not be professional to some people, but I think it goes
helps.
a long way to make it go from like, oh, this guy's really nasty and to the point to, oh, he's friendly.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Did you get really good at small talk?
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard everything about everything.
I was about to say, you just some
not
good
a lot
gossip.
surprises me anymore.
Yeah. Right.
The way that I decided to leave hairdressing and I guess transition into conservation jobs was I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I'd always dreamt of the potential for an Indigenous Ranger job that was Indigenous specific, because obviously a lot of the things that I care about are cultural values, and then including them in conservation and then everyday life. And so I was always like, oh, I wish there was like some sort of Aboriginal Ranger program here, but there wasn't. And then all of a sudden there was. And I was like, packing up, putting down the scissors and off I go. And so I think like the first round of applications for that position was actually highly competitive. And luckily enough, I had a lot of experience working in different aspects of planting and volunteering capacity over quite a long period that I was able to be selected. And yeah, it's It's fantastic. I still cut some people's hair, but it's not something that I feel like I've lost out on moving away from. It's still something that I love, but at the moment, I definitely love conservation more.
Yeah. And to finish up with, have you brought along a fun fact?
Okay, so my fun fact would be about microbats. So microbats are a small animal, and they're one of the major pollinators of plant species in the world. Very exciting, and we have a huge abundance of different species here in Western Australia and the southwest, Noongar. They're absolutely beautiful, but one fun fact about microbats is they're actually able to freeze an embryo like most mammals. So say if they are inseminated from mating, they are able to go, oh, there's no food around, I'll just put that on hold.
Whoa.
And the exciting thing is that when they actually mate, they will keep a reserve of semen just to the side, just in case that something happens to that the fetus, the embryo, and then they can re-inseminate themselves in their own time.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so I would have to say that's probably my biggest fun fact.
Oh, yeah, that's a very fun fact.
And you're like, ooh, gee, that's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's almost like humans, we've only just invented like sperm banks, but animals have been doing it for ages.
They just got their own.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's quite fantastic.